Welcome back to Stop Losing Women. I'm your host, Harry Wilmington, and on today, we're talking about if she can't keep plans, she's just not interested. So I read a message from a guy that's going through a bit of a turmoil situation whereby he's known a girl for a long time and they've gone out for a little bit. And so he's trying to get her out on more dates, but she just keeps canceling the dates because either something comes up or something happens with her friends where she wants to hang out with them, or she just forgets altogether. And so this guy is trying to figure out what conversations can he have with her that are going to make her want to actually show up and go on these dates. Because as far as he's concerned, she's very interested. She's not trying to see anybody else. And yet all the actions that she's showing indicate that she's not as serious about this. And I want to talk about this because a lot of guys fall for this type of thing because we get caught up in our ego thinking that we're so great that nobody would want to do anything wrong to us. And because we're so great also, why wouldn't the girl we're interested in not want to hang out with us? Like we're us, we're great, right? But I'm going to go through his message. I'm going to stop along the way and give some insights. And hopefully you guys will learn from this about how to tell when a woman is really interested versus when you can start seeing that she's not so interested and being willing to walk away. By the way, if you need more help, you can go to stoplosingwomen.com and sign up for one-on-one coaching, as well as checking out my Get Girls Academy. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this guy's message starts out, he says, there's a girl that I've known for a while now, and we've been talking and seeing each other for about 3 months. We're not official, but we both know we're not seeing other people. So right there, he's already in trouble because he's already indicating that even though they've been dating for 3 months, he's already chosen her as the person to be with. And that's not the worst thing in the world if that's just in your head. But guys start showing actions that indicate that they've chosen a woman way before she's made a decision about him. And this energy comes off in things you're saying to her by saying all these feelings you have, making future plans, etc., right? And so when you do that, that can make a woman start to back off a bit and stop wanting to see you as much, because for her, if she feels as though you've already chosen her before she's chosen you, that indicates to her that there's a level of intensity there that she wasn't prepared for. And now she feels forced into having to choose you versus it being her choice. So he should always be in the thought process of she's cool, but I don't know if I want her quite yet. And that should be the energy he's giving off that will make her think, I need to prove myself. And then by her proving herself, she's going to say to herself, if I'm trying to prove myself, it must be because I really want this guy. How can I make him become the boyfriend? All right. So it's different energy. Anyway, he says in person, she's amazing. The issue is making plans with her is always a struggle. She's constantly busy, but somehow always finds time for her friends. It feels like she gives me whatever time is left over, like once she's done doing everything she wants, then she'll text to see if I'm available. Meanwhile, if her friends want to hang out, she drops what she's doing to go with them. So that should give this guy an indication of where her loyalties actually lie. Now, earlier on in the dating process, that's going to kind of be true because she has more in time with her friends than she does with you. But 3 months in, if you're doing everything right, if you're asking her out once a week, you're not trying to over galvanize her time with a whole lot of text and a whole lot of hanging out, then when you reach out to her to want to do a date or hang out or hook up or whatever, she should be readily available to want to do that. And also making sure that there's nothing else in her calendar that's going to happen. And then at the point that she makes plans with you, you should be the first priority plan. Meaning if you plan a date and then 2 days later, her friends say, hey, we want to do something, and it's on that same day, she would say, I can't do that. I already have promised plans with this guy, but hey, don't worry, friends, I'll see you at some other time, all right? If that's not happening 3 months in, then that's indicative of she's either starting to lose interest, or maybe she just likes the idea of having a guy around that likes her, but she's not really into you all that much, because I've seen women literally drop female friends at the drop of a dime the moment they get a guy. And it frustrates her female friends to no end, but they honestly probably do it too, you know? And so the fact that she's not, I don't need her to drop her friends, but she's making her friends' plans a priority over this guy. That is a huge red flag. So he says, I called her out on it once and told her how I saw things. She said she didn't mean for it to come off that way and asked me to give her a chance to prove herself, to start making plans herself instead of me always initiating. I agreed, but she never did. So, this is why I tell you guys, you do not leave date planning in the hands of women for those first 3 months, because they're going to swear up and down, oh, I'll totally call, I'll make a plan, this is that. But most women I find are still subconsciously wanting the guy to do that. And it's not that women won't ever do that. Like, to be completely fair, the higher interest level a woman has, the more likely she is to reach out and want to make plans herself for you guys to do. But again, it's not necessarily a guarantee. More often than not, she's going to expect the guy. So when you leave it in her hands, understand there's a high chance that she's probably not going to do that, just because women are thinking, you're the guy. You should be reaching out to her. You should be asking her out. She should be telling you, oh, yes, I'm available to go or not go. And then you do the plans accordingly, right? So this is a bit of a misread, but also at the same time, we're looking at what's her history up to this point. She's constantly willing and able to make plans with friends, but not this guy. So there's a lot in here that's throwing mixed signals. I don't believe in mixed signals. I don't believe in living in the land of maybe, because maybes typically mean no. Maybe is indicative of somebody telling you, well, if I have nothing else going on, I guess I'll hang out with you. Do you really want to be a woman's I guess I'll hang out with you plans? Not really. So she didn't do the plans, and he says, so I pulled back a bit, which is what he should do. She noticed, asked what was wrong, and I told her I was tired of how things were going and didn't want to keep this up. She said she thought I wasn't being serious last time, but now she understands and promised to fix it. So at the point that she comes back and says, hey, my bad, I made a mistake, I promise I'll do better, you have to leave space for the woman to do a better job if you're going to keep seeing her. At this point, I would have been out, but like, since they had that conversation and she said, oh, I'm going to do better, fine. You give her one shot to actually prove that she's going to switch up and do better. And if not, then you just move on to somebody else. Because here's the thing, you don't have to negotiate your way into somebody's heart. Either they really like you and they want to spend time with you and they want to keep plans and show up on time, or they have a waning interest to no interest and they're going to make up all these excuses while still being late and still not showing up. So he says, I told her my main issue is that I'm always the one trying to organize time together and she keeps rescheduling or canceling, often with what seem like valid reasons, but it's become a pattern. She keeps saying she's interested and wants something real, but I just don't see her making time for me. My view is if you really want someone, you make time, even an hour a week. Her words and actions don't match. Well, exactly. And again, like this guy said, she's making more time for her friends. So she's telling this guy, oh, I'm just so busy all week. I can't figure out when we're going to get together. Oh, it's Friday. My friends want to go hang out. I'll see you later when I see you. So think about this, right? Women complain, especially these days, about how they can't find a man. They don't have guys that are asking them out. So when you come along and you're doing these things, you become top priority. Because if you're thinking about it, this is somebody that if you choose them or they choose you could go a lifetime. And that doesn't come along every day. So the fact that she's willing to toss that aside for her friends that she can see any old time, like at the point she gets in a relationship, you guys can still see each other 2 or 3 times a week. And then you can still be like, hey, go see your friends. I need my alone time. You need to keep your bond with him, whatever. That's different from she's just off the bat choosing her friends over this guy, which means to me, her interest in this guy is extremely low. And she can talk all that game about, oh, I want something really. It doesn't mean that she wants it with you. So she could be saying something that's absolutely true. She wants a long-term relationship, but what she's not saying is, but I don't see it with you and I don't know how to break it off because I don't want to be a bad woman. So he says, after that talk, things actually got better. The vibe was great for a bit. Then this past weekend, she went away with her friends. When she got back Sunday, she asked to see me Monday. I thought, perfect, she's following through. But 30 minutes before I was supposed to pick her up, she canceled again. Said her friend called in a panic and had an emergency. This, my friends, is a lie. Now, here's what women understand about men, is that if you're going to give a man an excuse It has to sound so logical that his brain is going to believe it and think, oh, that sounds perfectly rational, so I can't get mad at her now. So anytime, just in general, right? A woman that has high interest in you is never going to do the following things. She's not going to make plans with you and then a half hour before say, oh, my dog died. Oh, my friend called in a panic. Oh my God, there's an emergency. That's not going to happen. You know what's going to happen? If any of those things actually happen, you know what they'd say? They have other friends they can go to. They can handle it. I got a date tonight because I don't know if I cancel on this guy again, if he's going to get mad at me and I'm going to lose his interest. Now, if I go on the date with him and I tell him what's wrong, he can say, oh, hey, go handle your affair, whatever, but I'm not going to risk losing this guy's attention. And what she's doing is coming up with yet another excuse, and she's doing it in a way that it sounds logical. Oh, my friend's going through something. Oh, I can be the only one that's there for her. And because men typically are sympathetic towards women, in spite of what the world will have you believe, they know that we don't want to look like insensitive jerks. So we're going to hear that and be, oh, friend in panic. Oh, she's got to be there for a friend. Oh my God. And we're going to say, okay, do what you want to do. It's fine. I get it. You got to go handle your situation. Interested women do not do this, okay? Because interested women show up for the date, and women will have a bag full of excuses ready to go to get out to men that they're losing interest in. You have to understand that. You have to bypass the part of your ego that says, she would never do that because I'm so great. You could be great and she could still not want you. And in lieu of telling you the truth, she's going to give you excuses and hope that you buy them. So this guy then says, I just texted, okay, good night. She asked if I was mad, and I said no, even though I kind of was. She didn't buy it and said, if I were in her position, I'd have done the same thing. Well, we know you wouldn't have. But here's the thing. At the point that she texted, oh, I have an emergency, blah, 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 blah. You know what I would have done? I would have blocked her number and then gone out that night to try to meet somebody else. Because at this point, it's happened too many times to where this excuse is just another pile on. This excuse is just another lie that she's telling because for whatever reason, she just doesn't want to go out with you, all right? And you have to recognize that as a guy. I literally had it where I dated women and I'll start getting an excuse and just be like, oh, wait, she's just not interested. Okay, well, oh, my ego, that sucks. Okay, order somebody else. Because we all have the right and option at the end of the day to choose who we want to spend time with. And if they choose to be a crappy person by not just coming out and saying that, then it's your job to recognize that's what's going on and just make the decision easy for them. Just find somebody else. And if she would text it back, hey, are you mad? I would have just said, no, have a good night. And I would have just, again, blocked her number and moved on to somebody else because this is disrespectful behavior at this point. And you could say, but isn't that being disrespectful to her? Yeah. And she's been being the same way for the past how long now? So it evens out. So he says, here's where I'm stuck. We literally just had a big talk about this last Thursday. She said she understood. And then less than a week later, she cancels again, right after her trip with her friends. Maybe her friend really did have an emergency, but the timing is terrible. I don't know if I should believe it or not. You should not. I'm debating whether to just let it go and accept her excuse or walk away for good. I feel like saying something again will just make me sound like I'm always complaining, but I'm honestly tired of feeling like I'm chasing her for her time. Other than this, she's great, but this part really bothers me. So here's the thing, guy. She's not great because women that are great would keep dates and would not bypass you for her friends and would not give crappy excuses when something more exciting comes up versus hanging out with you. All right. So let's put it to the side. You had great moments with her. She is not great because she's not interested in you. And that means she's going to treat you as a crappy person. All right. So in terms of what you should do, here's the thing. Like I said, men think that we can logically talk to a woman. And if we just say the right thing, she'll suddenly realize how we're feeling. And they realize she needs to get on board and treat us better and all this other stuff. Women act on their feelings. Either they're feeling you or they're not. So if they're feeling you, everything they do is going to be gearing towards yes with you, wanting to see you, wanting to keep dates, wanting to have sex with you, all that great stuff. When women lose interest or have no interest, all their actions towards you are going to be maybes or no's. Maybe I'll see you, or oh, something else came up, or my friends are doing something instead, or I'm just too tired, or thousands of other excuses that mean I'm trying to not spend time with you. And when women send those signals, it is not your job to allow those excuses to keep you in the running. Like, oh, well, she said something happened with her friends, but I guess that means she still wants to see me because she's not outright saying no. And so many guys are like, until she says outright no, I still have a shot. Most women are not going to give you an outright no. They're going to say maybe, or they're going to say something came up, or I just don't know, or I need some space, or blah, 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 blah. And anytime a woman's trying to get away from you, that's not good. So I stopped having conversations with women a long time ago. At the point that I recognized, oh, her texts are getting flaky or she's getting flaky on dates, I just dropped them and moved on. Now, if they came back later and said, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you talking to me? Blah, 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 blah. I would just simply say, it's no big deal. Just you weren't responding to dates or you weren't showing up. So I assume you weren't interested and I'm over here now. And if at that point they want to try to work extra hard to get back into my good graces, then they can. But again, I've been around too many women at this point that have actual interest. Like I'm married now, and my wife from day one has never shown me a single ounce or indicator that she wasn't interested, that she didn't want to be with me, never canceled a date, never flaked. The most she said is, I can't do tonight, how about tomorrow? But there's always been yes, yes, yes. I want to see you, I want to be with you, I want to be near you, I want to spend time with you. Oh, my friend came into town, but we had a date, so I'll see them tomorrow. That kind of stuff. So when I see guys out there that are still falling for the whole, I know it's 20 minutes before our date, but something just came up, I laugh because I'm like, that's not a real thing. No woman with high interest ever does that. And if you have not seen what high interest looks like, then you're going to think I'm completely full of crap or that I must be making it up. But women that have high interest do not do things like this. They don't cancel dates. They don't trade you out for their friends. And they definitely, if nothing else, aren't trying to keep you in the running just so they can get, some attention and say, oh, I got a guy that likes me, but I don't like to talk to him. So let's do yourself a favor and start recognizing earlier on when a woman's starting to lose interest and just back off. And again, if she's coming towards you, hey, something wrong, what's going on? Hey, no, whatever, no, everything's great. Hey, you know what? I can't talk right now because I have other plans tonight, but let's talk tomorrow. Throwing something out there like that, she'll recognize, oh, if I keep screwing with him, he will leave me for somebody else. He can find other women. Oh my God. Versus trying to keep having conversation after conversation, which lets her know you clearly don't think you have other options out there, and that still keeps her in the power position. All right. So hopefully some of what I said here has helped you guys out. And if you need some help and some one-on-one coaching, you can go to stoplosingwomen.com, click on the coaching tab, and you can sign up for a half hour or an hour-long counseling session. You can also go there to check out my program, the Get Girls Academy, which is a collection of my best video programs on everything from how to do online dating, how to meet women in person, how to approach them at parties, what kind of dates to take women on, how to handle arguments. You get a bunch of audios from various experts that I've interviewed over the years and tons more stuff. So check all that out at stoplosingwomen.com. If you're listening on the podcast, go to youtube.com/Harry Wilmington to check out these podcasts in video form. This is what I do. Anyway, guys, I'm Harry Wilmington. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out. Peace.